Hello, welcome back. Tonight I will talk about the book of mine that I have written called Hecate or Hecate. Her name is pronounced differently. It is correctly both ways and maybe even other ways to pronounce it. Sometimes it is written with a C, the way I wrote it, Hecate. Sometimes the C is written in Ka, so it's Hecate, which is a little more the older representation of the name Heka, because Heka with a Ka means magic. So there's the element of the Heka. One can understand the He and the Ka. You know, the Ka represents the spirit or the body, the mind, no? And He, it's the almost like a elevation of that, no? Of that power, or that understanding. Heka, Hecate, and then the Te. So it does come from the Greek origin, Hecate. It is a Greek name, so it has part of that culture, no? And in my book you can read a story of Hecate, which is a very beautiful story that I would like to speak about tonight as well. The story of Hecate tells the story of her, of course, in my book from childbirth towards her adulthood, and it goes through different stories that are very beautiful and that I try to create in the grimoire, in the book as well. So it does have an element of that past, or there is an ancient past. No, when we speak about the Greeks, or when we speak about history in a far away, meaning of the past or far past, or there's the ancient past, no, they say, well, it is connected to Hecate as well. To say her origin is even older than the Greeks. The Greeks knew that, no? But in the Greek culture, she appeared the most revered or venerated, or the important goddess, no, or one of the most important. She appears in different places or in different stories, you know. It is, say, a character that has an origin in the history, and I found it very beautiful to write a book where it gives that feeling of the time, of the beautiful time, no, and to see the elements of Hecate, which of course are very interesting as well. If you are interested to read my book about Hecate, you can do so as well. In the link description box there is a link to the book, and the book has quite a nice size. It's a very nice cover as well. We see Hecate on the back cover with her 3 dogs, no? This is the element of Hecate, the very representative element of Hecate, always with her 3 dogs, or the animal of the 3, or the animal, the element of the animal or the dogs, no? It speaks very much to Hecate. And so I said the book has around 300 pages or more, so it is a very nice story. And I love to write it to create that atmosphere of the time, or to imagine, you know, Hecate in this way, and it is quite interesting. I like the different aspects that combine Hecate as well, or her different origin. No, there are some changes in her story as well, and I find it very interesting. I love the story of Hecate. I love Greek culture and history, or different thematics in history, ancient history, you know. So of course one can learn a lot about Hecate and study a lot about Hecate, no? Or this is like can be a larger subject. In the same way, I found it nice in my book to have the more intimate understanding, or a beautiful story that shows Hecate in this beautiful light, no? That she definitely deserves. It's an honor in the way, you know, the way I wrote the book for her, to create something beautiful, to create something representative of her. And the front cover is very interesting as well. We see Hecate with this element of the crown, of that silver element of her. What that silver means, no one can interpret the element of the silver very much connected to Hecate, more than to say the gold, because the silver represented the element of the night or the magic, no? It is a different color. It's very translucent, at the same time very, very beautiful. And then we have the element of the black, this cover, no? Then we see the beautiful face of Hecate, that young element of Hecate, beautiful element of Hecate. And on the back cover we see her more walking from the back with the 3 dogs, no? So yeah, I think the cover is really nice, and I think it's a very nice book as well. I will order it for me soon. It is published on Amazon, but I didn't manage to order it, so I'm happy to have it soon as well for myself. And yeah, it's, as I said, it's an interesting book to read, a beautiful story on an important subject as well. Of course, one can go deeper in the subject of Hecate, and study even more about her, or maybe even the Greek part of literature that deals with Hecate. They are all very beautiful passages. They are very beautiful parts that are very interesting as well. And other different aspects of Hecate that of course enter in my book is definitely the element of nature, and the beautiful element of the flower, or the landscape. The landscape too works very well in the book. The landscape has a certain interpretation. We start with from her childbirth, with the palace and so on, and then it goes further on in the story of her learning from different teachers or from her parents. That element of the learning, of growing, of Hecate, of her understanding, and in the different journeys and travels that she did as well. The element of dogs are very important when it comes to Hecate. It's like they are her companions, and she doesn't travel without them. There's the element of the 3 dogs that always are with Hecate. And of course that's very much connected to nature, dogs, animals, nature. Even in the book it does appear, even in the palace where she was born, there's always a lot of nature, the element of nature around Hecate. And the Greeks saw Hecate, as I've said, a very interesting character, very revered goddess in the meaning of deity, of that part of what she represented for the Greeks. It is an interesting part of history that I find very interesting, very beautiful, especially in literature or in literary form, like type of hymns, or the way in the Greek time, they have very beautiful poetry, a very beautiful like a theater, type of plays, or different stories or different books. It speaks very much too about the element of Hecate. As I said, the element of Hecate is very Greek, but it's almost like it's definitely more connected to nature than necessarily a city. There's the element of, as I said, the palace, which has a certain meaning in her story as well, and then the element of the nature and how the story follows throughout the book, which is an interesting aspect as well. Thank you so much for listening. As I've said, I invite you to listen to the playlist of Hecate where I speak other recordings about her. The link is in the description box, and I do have the book of Hecate. If you want it, there's a link in the description box as well. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, bye.